I have to curse at you. It's what I do.
If I hadn't have done it, other people
Oh.
would have been like, "Why didn't you do the pun?"
You hit the button. I didn't know.
It could have been worse. He could have gone, get around, round, round. I get around, round. Ooh, I get around. Anyway.
No. It was worse. It was,
yeah.
Hi,
it was
everyone. I'm
Hi.
sleeping.
This is a whiskey stream, I think.
Right. Whiskey.
I'm drinking whiskey. That counts.
I should.
Right?
I should be drinking whiskey. I'm not yet.
I have a bunch next to me, and I don't know which one I want to pour first.
Ooh. Well, perhaps we can give you a hand with that, or one of our
third bottle going right to left.
There is no right to left.
Pike Creek 21 finished in Speyside barrels because that's just a weird one.
I'm gonna ask you, what bottle number is that?
37.
Oh,
3691.
Damn, I was close.
I have
If you
bottle
round up.
number. I have bottle number 26 of that,
Crazy.
which is like the lowest I've bottle number I've ever had from a major release.
Yeah, that's nuts.
All
Hey,
right,
Puffs and Drams. Good evening.
I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to give you the list of what I got next to me, and you pick. All right. I got some Balconies single malt Texas whiskey at 63.5.
It's a tasty
Oh, wow. The question answered.
Well,
Wow.
and then I got some Talisker Storm.
Oh, fuck. I don't have that
Ooh.
shit on hand to show people.
I got a Midwinter
What kind
Nights,
of a producer? You don't have versions of all of the whiskeys?
a Midwinter Nights Dram,
Ooh,
Excellent.
That's tasty.
some Springbank 15, and a Flaming Heart.
Ooh, wow. That's a nice
I'd go
nice
Flaming
selection.
Heart. I would start with Flaming Heart.
Flaming Heart.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good selection. Jeez.
Yeah, I went interesting this evening.
Nice. I went very
I am-
Canadian for some reason. I don't know why.
I wonder why.
I don't know. But very
Feeling-
good selection.
Feeling pride.
No, it was just there.
Definitely not that.
No.
It's probably like the first one you pick, and then it just goes from there. You're like, oh, maybe I'll go down that road.
Nice. Just pull out the bottle.
I
And see
have-
the one behind it. Like
I
oh,
was
yeah,
just
I
going
haven't
to,
had that one. I haven't had that one in a while.
just before we go
Just
too
kind of
far, Monsieur de Devoid, I do believe your microphone is either picking up something in the background.
Oh,
or-
yeah, that would be the case.
Terribly unprofessional.
Next minute, copyright strike. No.
Oh well.
I've got two Kalilas here. I'm gonna go get a third
The left one.
whiskey eventually, like something, because it's Treat Yourself Day over here. So,
Sorry.
Treat yourself.
Nice hiss. Sorry.
I'm having some elements of Isla CL12.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 57.5%. There's it's aged for 7 years in 2 refill sherry butts, total of 1,900 bottles, and it's delicious.
Nice.
I've never had a bad elements of Isla. I've only had a handful, but they're very, very good.
Bye, Ben.
A little bit. Not anymore. He's fine. He's totally fine.
There you go. That's back to normal void.
I was seething, and when I seethe, I become Mr. Burns and a bit yellow. I'm sorry.
It happens, you know.
This is what puns do to me. Don't ask.
Had to be done.
But do
They
provide.
do.
It's part of his immersion therapy.
Eventually,
Yeah.
he may become immune. Finally,
What doesn't
Oh,
kill
it's
you
just-
only makes you
like I
see
did
more.
with Christina's double voice thing. That thankfully no longer bothers me nearly as much as it used to.
Don't lie. You just say that
It's-
because you don't want her to get a trigger on you.
Shut up, Jeremy. You're ruining it, Jeremy.
Oh, this is sometime in the future we might have to do like a actual theme for another episode, and we'll have to make it distilleries that you've never had a bad whiskey from.
Distilleries that make
Do
you
that
go,
every night.
Things that make you go.
Do that all the time. But I like that.
Things that
Wow,
make you
it's
go. Hey, Mitch.
The Weddle.
Wow.
Cheers.
I don't have words for what just happened there.
8:07 is not late.
We were early.
In fact, we're
on
early.
time.
That's early. That counts as
Yes.
early.
Yeah. You know,
Actually, I
what's the old saying? If car strength is on time, you're 10 minutes early.
Something like that.
Oh,
I thought it was more
good.
if cast strength is on time, it means the space-time continuum is in danger.
It's all relative, dude.
Or something else has been destroyed if castle strength is on time.
So
What are those monkey paw things?
we have a guest, and the reason I'm not drinking whiskey.
Your single Glencairn is being watched.
Lone soldier.
Solitary.
Steadfast against the weather and the rain.
Little bit of a choppy reception there by the look of it.
Oh, lone
Okay,
soldier.
What the? Oh, that's excellent.
Are you just working it out?
I mean, you gotta watch them. I think you might as well.
Oh,
This will just be the whole stream.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the stream now. That's it.
And the water slowly splashes into the.
Wait a second. Hold on. I have so many questions right now.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't know. Like in Canada, maybe it's just the tax bracket that I've been living in my whole life, but we don't have see-through dishwashers of any capacity that I've personally seen. Brad, you gonna tell me you have one?
I don't. I've seen
No,
them. But I
Okay,
He
I've
has-
never personally seen a
he's got a
see-through
camera
dishwasher.
in his dishwasher though, so it's all.
right. It's
Yeah.
I have micro cameras everywhere.
That's true.
But they're
No
not
wonder-
technically see-through.
no wonder I had a
Oh,
rash.
man.
You have them everywhere.
Everywhere.
God damn it.
Pinch hitter, Jim. We'll have to take a peek at your channel there. And anybody that fills in the gaps when other channels don't go live is doing the work of God. So good on you there.
Wrong direction about the work of, though.
Those just
Dan's just
Yeah.
lost. He keeps
no. I'm
watching
reading.
it.
I'm reading Weddle's
Oh.
comment about those distilleries: Four Roses, Wild Turkey, Ardbeg, Glendronach. For me, there's quite a
So
few,
I'm
and I
surprised
can't.
Brooklardy didn't make it on there. I don't think I've had a
'Cause
bad
they are-
Brooklardy.
And as the best distillery that exists, you'd think that it
Pump your
would be
brakes.
You would think.
on there.
I mean, Ardbeg
Not
is
that
a
we're
Hope you're getting
Ardbeg
paid
is
for
an
that,
absolute
Dan.
fantastic distillery. But you know, again, Bruichladdich, if you're looking for a quality whiskey at a quality price, look no further.
Now here's the other question.
It's
right?
bricklotty.com/cast strength for all your.
And don't forget, post your receipts on the tribe tag.
And don't forget, promotion code Dan says.
Yeah, promotion code Dan says.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
So the question is in the whole a distillery that you've never had a bad whiskey from, right? That doesn't really like that just says bad whiskey. They don't have to all be freaking hitters, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say.
Could you literally say in that context? For myself, I've never had a bad Johnny Walker. They've always been exactly what you expect.
Right.
I'm gonna say whiskeys that I've enjoyed.
Okay.
So there's whiskeys I haven't enjoyed. I wouldn't call them a bad whiskey. You know what I mean? It's just whiskeys that would opt to drink again or purchase again. And I don't want to get into the value aspect of it there, just the whiskeys that has been released from distilleries. But I'd have to say whiskey makers, or even just independent bottlers too. I'd have to include all of that. Pardon
Which
me,
one was
because-
it?
I was
What
I was just about to highlight that for a different reason though. It's the money aspect, right? The money aspect always plays a subjective weight on that. Is this a good whiskey? Because in isolation, where you're not paying for it, you might go, "Hey, this was quite enjoyable." What's that? It's $300. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the
Like,
thing.
it was
right?
good.
The
I don't
value
need
is-
another one, but it was good.
This Pappy with Dr. Pepper, absolutely fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not really for me.
I wouldn't,
Yep,
I wouldn't chase after a bottle just to have more.
Oh yeah, Void.
Jim, nice one on those laddies you got to try last night. Octomore is always fantastic. Port Charlotte is great, and you'll have to tell me what the PAOCO1 is if you can, because I haven't been up to any current ongoings, even from the best distillery that exists. So the MCO1 Port Charlotte remains one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. And the MRC also fantastic. So I'm sure the PAC01 is something. If I think hard enough, I'm sure I could figure it out, because I don't know. It's not PX though. I have no idea. Let me know if you can. I suppose I could just look it up. I do have a computer now that can do these
Why
things
would you do
without crashing.
Yeah, well, it's hard to separate it from the money, Weddle. I feel you. But I have had whiskeys that I very much enjoy, and even like some of my favorite whiskeys that I would never buy another bottle of because they're just stupid expensive. But I did very much like them.
Oh, you know what you are lacking,
Port
Void?
Charlotte barbecues.
You
French
are
oak
lacking-
casks.
Nah.
You are lacking.
It's not spooky season anymore. It's November. What do you?
Ooh, fantastic! More red wine cask. That's absolutely marvelous.
That was trippy. It didn't show up on my screen, but it's obviously, went.
It definitely worked.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great, Jim. But love the wine cask Port Charlotte. It's out of this world. Out of this world. I'm glad that they're continuing that route, and I've always maintained that they have just the best wine casks that I've ever. I'm literally saying this in all truthfulness. Some remarkable wine casks there used in all of their expressions, but having a few of those micro provenance wine cask finishes was what made me really, really think that the Black Art releases are just like a mix of those single wine casks that they have, because I get all of those really fruity, deep, wonderful notes that I've gotten on those individual single cask wines. But it could be anything, because
Hey,
grilled
Donald.
pineapple thing going on. Nice. Hey, Donald. Evening, buddy. Good to see you.
So, side note, that Flaming Heart, well, good. I remember that it's kind of just meh for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine. It's good.
So-
It's good. But, like,
Well, then it's a
Brad,
good one
I
to
don't-
start with, so you can move
Yeah.
up through the levels.
I
It
don't
was
know
a good
what's
call.
happening at the moment, Brad, because StreamYard chat is quicker than YouTube chat. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Weird. Maybe they upgraded a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
or YouTube is just drunk. That's
it's a Nexus event. Look out.
Well, it has started the Sud cycle now. So
Listen, we were on time, so clearly other things are going very strangely. It's
Ooh,
gotta
that
even out somehow.
Octomore sounds really nice, Jim. Nice one.
October's
Appreciate those
always
notes. Appreciate those notes, buddy.
Now I just feel like getting a pineapple, smothering it in maple syrup and salt, and chucking it in the barbecue.
Oh Lord, yes. What's that? What's the barbecue this time? Are you quite? Is it just a grill sitting it open on bricks in the back, or are you not there yet?
I've got the big offset smoker.
You do actually. Yeah. I was making a joke about the heat. But you're not quite into.
No, I just used the bottom of the car. What are you going on about?
That's one of my favorite Mythbusters episodes is when they have Alton Brown on and they cook the meal in the car.
Yep.
In the engine bay. So awesome. Mythbusters is one of my favorite shows of all time. Like fiction or non, it is one of my favorite shows.
It is a classic if you're doing a little bit of touring and four-wheel driving to throw the old potato in the engine bay, so you get a nice roast potato for lunch.
Sure.
Sometimes you don't even need to start the car up. You just leave it parked in the sun.
I'm gonna do the apples where you core out the apple and you put butter and cinnamon and sugar, stuff it in the middle of the apple, and then put it back up in tin foil. That's whoa.
I
bet that would be tasty.
Actually, I might make that tonight. Now that you say that with a bit of ice cream would just be absolutely wonderful.
I grew up with a father that had a mobile mechanics truck for like large trucks, so you go do road calls. I went with him on many a time in the dead of winter as a very young child. Lots of meals were cooked on an engine block.
Hey, dude,
I'm definitely reading all of these comments. I'm definitely going to pour myself Octomore after this. But Donald, the one thing I'd like to know on that SMWS bottle that you have, what's the name of it, please?
It's Roger.
The most interesting point. But 17-year cast strength Bushmills, fantastic. I bet it is everything you wanted from a Bushmills whiskey.
I bet.
I haven't
some
quite.
2 brewers finished in maple syrup barrels.
Ooh, nice.
The most Canadian thing you could.
It really is. If it was only finished in a poutine barrel.
Finished in like a barrel that held gravy for
We
some
don't
reason.
we don't hold poutines in barrels. They're held in butts, ex-sherry butts. That's what we keep our poutine in up here. Stored, aged for a minimum of 3 years. You can't call it poutine.
I mean, you can store
potatoes.
in barrels. You can store cheese curds in barrels.
You can.
And then I guess if you just age the last one in like a KFC chicken gravy, like 44-gallon drum.
Like an ex-potato barrel, an ex-cheese barrel, and a gravy barrel for some reason. And then you combine them afterwards, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do it all at once. It would just be a mush of nonsense.
Well, you'd be able to get the ratios right.
And then you'd have to play with the blending to find the right ratio.
Yeah.
I envision a Solera cask thing with the gravy barrels.
I mean, sure.
That's how it goes basically in all of our like poutine places anyways, right? It is literally it's a Solera gravy container. For
like
sure, 100%.
It's like the
Hang on a moment.
whiskey that they just basically spin a barrel and run whiskey through it.
So if you do it right, shouldn't the specific gravities of everything be slightly different so that it sits in the bottle layered? But then you just give it a shake and pour into the glass. So that it's all mixed in.
I'm gonna vomit.
Is someone taking notes on this?
It'll all be on YouTube.
Oh, that's awesome. It's called as Fresh as a Mountain Stream. Fantastic. Fresh as a mountain stream. That's marvelous. Yeah, I've never had a wow Bushmills yet. I've had tasty ones for sure, but never like a real wow one yet. So that might have to.
But they've all been like the over 12.
Like Bushmills was like my go-to whiskey while in the band at bars.
It seems to be a lot of people's go-to whiskey, like earlier in the journey when it's, consumption is a little higher than it tends to be as we go down the path.
Oh, dude, not you. Oh, I hurt in my soul.
I just read it. Yes, that's a direct. That's actually
the
taking
puns.
energy out of the.
Yeah, he's back to seething again. Oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Looks like
Donald,
that glass
I'm
is
sure
getting clean though.
This one, it's
No,
oh.
Yeah, that one too.
Two very different methods of cleaning: the Canadian and the Australian method.
there you go, Dan. See, look, you can see it's quite clean now.
It's a bit hazy.
Nah, it needs some more time. More time.
Get
Yeah,
it? It's hazy.
Get it going some more time.
We've heard him so much he's using puns.
I have to fight back.
Ooh,
single
cask.
Single cask.
So it's a Gordon and MacPhail. First fill sherry, 13-year, 52%, 260 bottles out of that cask.
Wow.
Oh, and it's number 18, which is
Where's that?
my birthday.
There it is.
This is both of these Kalilas are from Mr. David Kramer.
I'm
If you're in
just
the
gonna
house, David, cheers.
sniff this because I am still saving this.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, so first of all, as much as I love Elements of Isla, what's that? What's that?
Darkness, Ardbeg, 25 years.
Oh, darknesses.
That smells fantastic. I've not had any yet. That's last year or the year before's birthday present from Mr. Brad himself.
You need to have
Last year.
some of that.
It would have been the year before or last, I think.
it would have been 2019, I think.
You need to have some of that.
Oh, it's the
Really
last
should.
one of the drink. And I keep smelling it, and it is absolutely freaking exquisite. I think I've consumed this much just by, smelling it.
Oh yeah, that's one I would literally be taking like the dropper in, and like you know what I mean. That
Dosing it under your tongue.
This Kalila is
Microdosing Oloroso. Just
good Lord, this Gordon MacPhail Kalila is twice as good on the nose as the Elements. This is marvelous.
Marvelous. Bloody marvelous.
well, look, I'd look. We may or may not just all leave the stream and leave the glass running for the full 3.5 hour cycle. There's a steam wash at the end to rinse all of the detergent off.
Oh, that's amazing. That's nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Steam bath for the glass. Good glass. Anyway,
Wow.
I need another whiskey.
Have two.
Wow, this is like so subtle on the Dave. If you're listening there, the Gordon MacPhail Kalila, the 2005 first fill sherry, remarkably gentle on the peat. It is a very ashy peat that is there, but
That's right. This one still smells fantastic too. I drank it all. This is the no name number 2.
Ah, yeah, that's tasty. Soon I will get back to the no name number 2 that I have.
Oh,
cheers. Cheers, Uncle John.
well, come here then. Come on. Sit
Oh,
down.
yeah.
I'm coming. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Come here. Come on.
Ooh, you know what I'm doing right away? Because I'm just that kind of person and I'm really curious.
Hello.
I am going to blend the last of that with...
Terrorist.
Doing some
You're a little
science.
terrorist.
Weird son.
Oh my God, it smells great. We just watched that last night.
Nice.
What,
Classic.
I missed something. I was attending to a tiny little attention-seeking slot.
Dan is doing weird science.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Classic,
It
slightly
really is.
problematic 80s movie. It's great.
Yes, yeah. There's
It's an 80s.
there's some
movie.
issues
Yeah.
as with some John Hughes, other John Hughes classics. It's
Sure.
just slightly problematic. Is the
Like they're like
accurate,
mostly great.
accurate, but
Every once in a while, just like, oh, that's yep. Oh well, it was the 80s. What can you do?
I mean, if you want a bit of a cringe, go watch Eddie Murphy's Delirious and go, that's right, that was very much a product of the time.
Yeah.
Yep. 16 Candles is pretty wow. There's a few wow moments in that for sure. But yeah, it is what it is, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Product of the time.
Yep.
Yeah. Peach, Melba, and vanilla Greek yogurt with rich flour honey on the palate in the Bushmills. I am fucking tastic.
Okay.
Yeah. While Irish whiskey, in my opinion, does 40% better than any I've ever had. Lots of fantastic Irishes at 40 or the low 40s. But every Irish I've had with a higher ABV up to a cask strength is just like absolutely remarkable. So I can only imagine that. And at 17 years too, some excellent age on it. And that description just sounds...
It sounds great. Yeah. Geez.
Yeah, it does sound kind of traditional Irish notes, probably turned right up to 11.
Makes you want to have an Irish, doesn't it?
Kind of.
So speaking of Irish, where is Dolan?
Being Irish.
Fact. Fact.
It seems likely.
Yeah, extremely likely.
Meanwhile, in over there, he's actually dressed in a kilt. You know,
I'm being
fucking Irish.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, you.
Woo!
So I poured myself some Talisker Storm as a follow up.
Nice.
Nice.
How old's
Nice.
that bottle?
Huh?
How old's that bottle?
Pretty old. Why?
Okay, how's it holding up?
Fine.
Okay.
But like it's fine. Well, it's not Dark Storm. Dark Storm's the one that went.
That trashes, yeah.
Yeah, that turned pretty quick.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, it did, and I'm really beginning to wonder too, if it was the bottle or if it was that flask that it was held in for a while. Actually, the flask wasn't in it for that long.
The bottle itself, like I've had a bottle of the Dark Storm, and it was like 3 months, and sun and oxidization just did some funky shit to that.
Yeah, it was not. I was fortunate enough to have some that was not. Turned,
I think
if you will,
I think
and then that
like
stuff, that
wine,
bottle
right?
was woo.
I
Yeah, it
mean,
was rough.
like my whiskey's kept in basically like a cave, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I
same
can't
here.
avoid
Mine's in
this
like
stuff.
literally a cool, dark place. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Keep
Like mine.
it
It's
in
not
a
like there's
cool,
windows in
dark
there,
place.
so everything in there is fine.
Dog, you have way too much hair. Please stop. There you go.
But it's a
Sorry.
floof. It can't stop
Please.
floofing.
Can't
It
stop
wouldn't be the
floofing,
floof
that's-
without all the hair. That's
All he's doing is just being a big sook.
Yeah, that's
He's doing a good job at it.
Oh, are you kidding me? Good lord!
that's what Snuggles. That's what he gets though.
Oh,
'Cause he gets
Nope,
what he
ignore.
wants because he's a floof.
yeah. There's also a Trevor lemon candies. Ooh, and a malty Ovaltine note in there too. 55.1 and first fill X bourbon, just perfect. Yeah, wonderful.
That sounds tasty as hell.
Yeah,
Some
it does.
warm milk.
Again, like some more or less general Irish notes. Slightly specified in some areas there, but like specifically the honey is something I usually get a maltiness there in a lot of Irish. But yeah, that sounds marvelous, Donald. Yeah, and I wonder. I know that obviously Scotch is the bulk of it, and they've branched out in recent years into bourbon and other world whiskeys. But I haven't seen too much Irish single malt whiskey bottles. So, yeah, kind of a neat one you have there. I'm glad that you're enjoying it while listening to us, folks.
I'm not folks.
Or watching.
Don't curse at me.
I'm not folks. Don't call me folks.
Two people avoid
Listen,
a dishwasher.
buddy, I'm not folks. Okay.
Look at that picture. Do I look like folks? No, I'm a Chet.
All right, this has married together now for a scientific amount of time, and
sounds very sciencey.
Asterisk, undetermined amount of time.
As long as you write it down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mythbusters rules. If you write it down, it's science.
Correct.
Oh, it's actually nice. It's actually really good. Oh yeah, very ashy peat. Very, very ashy. A little more ashy than what I would consider the traditional Kalila peat. But it's nice. It's nice. It's very malty. There's a little bit of I don't want to say barbecue meats, but I'll say maybe just like a bit of barbecue sauce. Doesn't quite have that actual meat
and barbecue sauce.
But it's good. That's good. Science.
Gotta love science.
Sometimes it works out. that's a t-shirt.
That's the tagline for science.
Yeah,
sometimes
it really
it works
out. Not wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And
sometimes it's an accurate, I think an accurate measurement too. Yes.
Science.
Yes.
Science.
That
is definitely a
like a table covered in beakers in the background that's just on fire. Science. Sometimes it works out.
Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't.
No. Science always works out.
Bill Nye is the Jeff Goldblum, enthusiastic Jeff Goldblum of the science world.
It always works. Sometimes you find out what works, and sometimes you find out what didn't work. But it's always doing science.
It is always doing
science. It's always
science.
Successful science.
Good old science.
I don't want to hear that goddamn word anymore. Science.
Oh, you said it.
Science. Okay, I need another refill. Should it be Springbank 15, the Balcones single malt, or the Midwinter's Dram?
Ooh,
Midwinter's. While you still have
palate. Yeah.
Well,
I can still taste things.
You don't want you don't want either of the other ones before Midwinter's.
It's very true.
So
yeah. That is a really tasty whiskey too. That's one of those hyped whiskeys that's actually
Act
kind
5
of worth it.
2.
No
idea what that means.
Any type of it's just the different releases.
No, I know that, but I have no idea where that falls in any spectrum of anything.
Right.
Either.
There are some that are certainly, like everything, more sought after for whatever reason or considered better in that. But I've had two. I've been able to try two releases, and they're both marvelous.
Marvelous.
Ditto.
Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of two, maybe three. I'm not sure. They've all been good anyway. I remember enjoying them, but I have no idea which version they were. They were just samples.
Yes, Donald. This was featured briefly on last week's episode. This was one of the ones that was hanging in the Sky Dome. Not this actual legit one. I don't think it might be. It's pretty
This is the
hardcore.
one.
But yeah, me too. Big part of my childhood seeing all of those. I have quite a few mint originals rolled up that they gave out to like pubs and everything. I have some that were never mounted or anything. So eventually I am going to get those either framed or boarded or something to put up, because I'm a bigger fan of baseball as a sport, but I am a big Jays fan. So is Dwyer. Yeah, sports ball, right, Brad? Brad's the biggest fan, though. Okay, he's been.
It's all sports ball to me. I don't know.
Brad's a bigger fan than I am. Trust me.
Brad went to Wrigley Field because it was like on his bucket list, and like just as a diehard baseball fan, he had to get out there and see.
I definitely wasn't dragged there by some friends that wanted to see a baseball game.
It was literally like, what the fuck? Brad is getting really good at these green screens, man. Like really good.
Couldn't even tell you who won the game. What was that?
That's fine. It's baseball. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yep. You know what?
It was fun.
Like,
I had fun, but like I don't care about the game going on. I was just hanging out with people
and
eating a hot dog
achieved.
with like radioactive relish on it. Which is
Yep. That's America.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that is, and it's a thing. Not that because you're the last person on the planet that gives a shit about like bragging rights, but that's a pretty neat thing for the most Canadians, at least. We don't. A lot of people don't get down to ballparks outside of like Yankee Stadium or Fenway because they're relatively close and all that jazz. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I'd love to go to Wrigley if that's a neat experience. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you even watched the game. If you had fun, then then that's good, right? Like if you went and had a 100% shitty time, like didn't give a fuck about baseball, fine. But like had a shitty time because like for whatever factors could make you have a shitty time, that would be trash. But that's awesome that you had a good time, because it would, like I said, be shitty if you went in at 100% shitty time. Like, food was
this
shit.
just confirms that sports are stupid. I hate them. Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I think I can only have a mild amount of fun at a hockey game and or American football game. I think I could have a mild amount of fun at those. Other than that, no.
I literally could watch paint dry and be more entertained than American football. I can't. Maybe being there at the game would probably bring another dimension into it that would keep me interested. But
sure.
It's the stoppages, just like the time wasting. That's literally a strategy, and I get it in any sport at all where there's a clock continually running. That it's a strategy to do that, but it's just the action to non-action ratio that just.
It's really not that. That's the problem, by the way. It's the commercial timeouts.
Yeah.
It's not the play timeouts. It's the commercial timeouts.
But yeah, well, for whatever reason it is, it's like I think for the 3-hour broadcast is 11 minutes of live play. On average, it's average. Obviously, there's some games that are different, but it's just.
I want to see your resources on that one.
Okay, I can show it to you. It's a study that
because I only shot sports for like 10 years of my life and edited all the sports, and know that there's a lot more live play than that. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, so there's a lot. If you just Google it, which I'm sure you'll be better at than me. It was actually
nothing on the internet's a lie.
Okay, I guess. So
what on the internet and lie?
Is there any? Is there any citation that you will accept?
Give me one. I'll go look at it. But like I said, I edited football. I know how much time exists in live play.
Sure.
It's more than 11 minutes. Anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Sports ball sucks.
It's all sports ball.
This midwinter's dram is glorious.
That's
Okay, so
It's all baking spice and just nice.
yum.
I will send you a link. It's a Wall Street Journal article. We're not going to accept that as
Just
again.
causing
If so, instead
trouble.
of me going and you refusing
Just
everyone,
causing
it's easier to just
trouble.
tell me which ones you will accept as.
Wow, I just laughed. That's all I did.
So much drama today on the show.
I know, right?
So yeah, there you go. But there's also other sites like on ESPN and all of that. Like it's not a hidden fact or anything.
Paywall, motherfucker. It's the Wall Street Journal. Can't read it.
For real?
Yeah, it's the Wall Street Journal. It's a paywall.
Oh, good lord.
I'm sure we'll work it all out. It'll be
I don't
okay.
care anymore.
I didn't care to start with, so that's fine.
Fair, very fair.
Okay, there's another one. It's again there's lots of results for it. Yeah, the replay time at 17 minutes is more than live play. And let's see if this link takes me to the Wall Street Journal article. Yep.
Of course.
So there's one article that we're referencing.
No, there's this. There's a.
Can we just move on?
There's a
and have
ton.
show.
Yeah, I'm switching to a new.
Yeah, but
I'm
what
having
a
some
lot.
Shelter Point here. Artisanal casks.
Ooh, artisanal.
Yeah.
There, I sent.
I'm not
a
sure
link
exactly
there
what
for
makes
you.
this one artisanal. This is going to sound like the bottle is breaking, probably because of their glass. Oh no! Wait, didn't.
So NFL game specifically.
Yeah, specifically.
Okay,
I think
so-
it could probably be extrapolated.
Not true at all.
Oh, okay.
Not true at all.
I don't have any. Again, I'm only basing it on what I'm not a fan myself. I'm only basing it on the studies and shit that I've read from other people doing the work. I can't stand watching it. But I think like the highest minutes of live play in a Super Bowl ever was like 21 minutes.
But
I remember that
But
being-
this is broadcast length to game. I'm not.
Yeah, that's why I
talking-
said. That's
But
why I
yeah,
said. Remember,
like-
I said going in person, I might be able to handle it, but watching it on TV
To an
for 11
NFL
minutes
game.
of play for 3 hours.
NFL.
Oh,
There's
yeah, we
lots
only-
other football that's not NFL.
Oh yeah, we don't get up here anything broadcast on TV that's not NFL.
But like
sadly.
I didn't say go and say watch on TV. We said go to watch it.
And I agreed. I said maybe going to a game, and then immediately after I said I just can't stand watching it because 3 hours of broadcast for 11 minutes of play is too much for me. And then we got into the discrepancies over how much actual time it was. But anyways, yeah, like I said, to begin, I would probably like going to a physical game and being there. I might be able to deal with it a little better because there's an atmosphere going to a live anything that will allow you to enjoy things more, I think.
Sure.
Like I love going to like Broadway shows, like obviously not Broadway because we don't have Broadway, but I love going to shows because it's just fantastic. But if you were to bring me like the album, hey, you want to listen to Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat? Like I'm probably not super interested to throw it on. But like going to see, I went and saw Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and it was awesome. So seeing things live, basketball, can't watch it on TV. Going to a game, it's kind of cool environment.
I just watched Space Jam instead. It's basically like watching basketball.
It is. That counts.
It's like
That
the only
counts.
stuff I know about football is from the movie Little Giants from the mid-90s. So.
The annexation of Puerto Rico? No?
Yeah.
That's the play that the kid brings to the table.
Yeah. So,
I call it the annexation of Puerto Rico.
that movie is so dumb in all the best ways.
I love it.
So
We recently
stupid.
remembered how fantastic it was and threw it on.
Nice. I haven't seen it in quite a long time.
then Beckham started going around going, intimidation. And we had to put a hold on it. Donald, sorry, buddy. I didn't read that. First of all, yeah, Glavin, Maddox, and John Smoltz, awesome. That's fantastic. I saw Greg Maddox and Tom Glavin pitch, but in Toronto. Chelsea is the team. Blue is the color, and football is the game.
Hold on, I know how to fix the stream. Hold on. There we go.
Here we go.
I love how the camera can't decide how to focus.
I know, and that light is just sheer bright. 100% bright.
Now there's a towel.
Oh, we've got a towel?
Yeah, or something. It wasn't there before.
It does look like potentially a microfiber towel. It's still weird that his microwave is a dishwasher. It's blowing my mind. Like that's
glass fronts. That's the thing. They exist.
It's awesome. I think it's fantastic. I'd like all of my appliances to have glass fronts.
That would be
Fridge.
fun.
Yep.
Some
Microwave
do.
does.
Some
Yes,
do.
this is true. This is true. Now they're just all that crazy technology with cameras and or like projection on the door.
Oh yeah, that whole thing tell you when you need to refill something, and you just tap on it, like puts it in your order or whatever. Those,
That's
weird things are crazy.
I would never be able to use it complete enough to make it worth its efficiency.
I am a giant nerd, and even that is like way too much for me.
I would just there'd be stuff half on this list and half.
Yeah. It would never
I don't
work
know.
out. It's just adding a lot of complications for no reason.
Puffs, it needs some time, man. Okay, you never know what was in there.
You gotta make sure it's really clean.
Could have been anything in there.
Really,
juice or milk or water. Could have had some of that water stuff.
With Jeremy, you really never know what could have been.
Yeah, it needs a proper cleaning. You always, if you're not washing your Glencairn for 40 to 175 minutes, then
between every drink.
I hate to break it to you, between every drink.
That's why you need more than one, really, because you're going to be washing the rest all the time.
Yeah. So Donald, I first really started getting my personal, outside of family, my own personal love for football was during like Giggs and Scholes and Beckham era. Big fan of Beckham. He's probably responsible for my love getting really in personally to football, and not just something that is passed down. Cantona is one of the best players ever. Also Giggsy and Scholes, probably the arguably the best in their position for their time period, full stop. Some really beautiful football back then, but I'll stop now talking about that because it's really,
those sure are words.
It's not like cars or technology. Like, at least there's
some of
always
those
two
might have been
people
names,
that can
but
take part in some of these conversations, but never only one of us.
Sorry, can't help with that one.
Yeah, those are words that you are saying.
Some of them were names, I think, from context. But yeah,
if you know what I mean, Perd. I don't know what you mean, but it did have the cadence of.
You were talking about the round one, right?
Yes, the actual ball.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I got things. I get what's going on.
I'm Perd Hapley.
I might as well be half the time. I'm Perd Hapley. This is what's going on.
that he's one of the best
This
characters
is a
on
show
that show
that we are streaming.
This
Welcome.
is a show that you are watching.
You are watching us stream this show currently. Welcome. I'm Pert.
It's just Void's going through years of footage of edited football to provide undeniable data.
He's just finding a YouTube clip of 12 minutes of a football game for you. So there. He might actually have some footage. He did a lot of the recording. He might have that footage.
That's what I mean, like the raw footage. Numbers and dates and numbers, and this is raw data. This is raw shit right here. If anybody hasn't seen Burn After Reading, it is a incredible and regularly overlooked Coen Brothers film that is a laugh riot, in my opinion. Yes, Donald, I am heavily British, so obviously I'm Formula One. That's something I did with my granddad for years and years, getting up super early, like 3:00 in the morning, generally, it varied obviously depending on the race, but sure. Getting up super early and watching the races. So I haven't kept much up to date in my adult life, but I still do appreciate the pinnacle of motorsport. Lewis Hamilton, what can I say?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you like names of anyone racing or anything, but I'll throw out a race, Formula One or whatever, now and then. I like that kind of stuff, but I don't follow it at all. Like
I couldn't tell you. I don't even know.
Passive in the moment, like, oh, hey, that guy is sure racing great. I don't know who it is.
It's kind of like wrestling for me. I don't follow wrestling at all, but like when I'm at a buddy's and there's wrestling on, I'm definitely watching it. I'm glued to the screen. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't even know if the season's on right now. If the season's on or where it is or who's doing what or whatever. But I know Lewis Hamilton's just been absolutely just murdering everything for the past I don't know, almost a decade now. I don't know. Oh yeah, don't look straight into that light, Jim. Do not look straight into that light.
Don't go into the light.
Survive might be one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, see, I haven't seen any accidents or anything or hear about that, but those are pretty crazy. It's a wonder how Senna is the greatest. Villeneuve also really supernaturally gifted driver, like super naturally gifted, that didn't quite maybe have the razor sharp instincts that Senna had, but he was also a greatest. But Senna's probably my favorite. I'd have to agree on the greatest. I think that if he had today's equipment, he'd be in another dimension. Oh yeah. So yeah, Donald, what's the scene? Is it racing season right now? Or what?
The only thing I know about racing right now is that the new Forza Horizon game is coming out. And that'll be interesting.
I'm looking for good old Gran Turismo. I think 5 is still the one for PS3. Because I don't have the time to play it if I wanted to, but I'm looking for it because that's a good. It's one of those you get fully into. It's like an RPG. It's the RPG of the racing game world.
Right.
There's just a lot of shit to go through and a lot of customizable stuff. What's up, darling?
Yeah, I gotta get into some of the Gran Turismo stuff. I haven't played that in a while.
I imagine they'd be pretty darn good on. You'd probably be playing it on your PC. I imagine, yeah.
If it's out on PC.
Oh wait, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Gran Turismo is just PlayStation, I think.
Yeah. It's the
Forza,
second
I'll
time
play on
somebody's.
PC though, because I might as well get some use out of this video card.
Yeah, it probably looks fantastic on there. Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are neck and neck right now. Nice, yeah. It's good. It's good when there's competition. You know, it's nice when someone you support or a team you support or whatever runs away with it, but it's not as entertaining as when there's a lot more competition.
I don't know about Puffs and Drams trying to get a whiskey question in here, but I have
What
no
do you
idea.
think this is, man?
I have no idea if there's a Northern Border collection.
What was that? There's the peated Lot 40 release that I'm not too sure if it was being considered in the Northern Border collection.
I don't know.
That's a really good question.
Welcome back, Jeremy.
Hey, yeah, sorry, phone calls and shit that went longer. Also, the that light has been on the entire time. To whoever thought that I'd turn that light on.
But the purple towel wasn't.
No, so the purple towel is otherwise so that's actually a super fucking painful thing to light. It's actually on the iPad being filmed. It was super fucking hard to light. So the only way to do that was to actually block out all of the other light and then light it from a single source.
Sure.
Look, it might be fancy ass fucking dishwasher with a glass thing on the front, Dan, but it's still a bitch to light because it's highly reflective. And there's a slight tint to the glass as well. So there is a light in the dishwasher, but it goes off after 2 minutes, regardless of what you're doing. You know, good thing. Hello, dog. Good thing I learnt some things when I used to do photography shit.
Yep.
And that is legitimately one of the little clip lights that I used to use when I was lighting stuff. And I have a whole heap of, so that's just a CFL, have a couple of LEDs, and then I've got the colored bulbs as well for, yeah, you know what, Dan, you know what.
Sure do.
Right.
I'm not knocking the lighting. I think it's spectacular.
It's wonderful.
It
does the job. It does what it's supposed to do.
I think it's some of the best footage being shot probably anywhere in the world right now.
Right, like it beats my fish tank cam by a little bit.
Sure.
I know it's a hard call, right? But it does beat it by a little bit.
It beats it because for me the novelty of a see-through dishwasher will never wear out.
Sure.
ever. I think it's unbelievable. Like
it is an absolutely tiny dishwasher, Dan. It's like 4 liters.
It doesn't
for a whole
matter.
cycle. It
doesn't matter. It's see-through.
Perfect for 1 or 2 people, and it is just done.
There you go.
And holy shit, because of the steam thing at the end, the glasses come out exquisite. Nice. So when it finishes the cycle, the glasses come out, they're about 60 degrees, they're bone dry, and there's not an ounce of residue on them. And then I giggle at all of these people who have to wipe out their glasses with paper towel that are non-bleached and all this. Oh, I'm just chugging in the freaking dishwasher.
Very nice.
It's because of his smile. Little known fact that Daniel Ricciardo and Patrick Cohen are actually related. They have exactly that same childlike smile that is just infectious.
That's my buddy's favorite driver too. Awesome that your boy won there, Donald. That's fantastic. Oh, hey, Graham. Better late than never, as they say.
Yep. Fashionably late.
Fashionably
As fashionable as it
sure.
gets.
Yep.
Yep, you can't get any more fashionably late.
That is really
Oh.
good. Shelter point.
But do have two of them, Brad.
Have
Also,
to. They're small.
Where did the void go? And why does the void have a giant L on his thing?
That explains why I'm feeling it at 58.7%.
Oh, well, then have three.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, Donald. So, yeah, I didn't think it was part of the northern border. I just wasn't sure. It already came out, I guess, and is released. So I guess not. But I haven't heard any. Oh, I don't think there is a northern border collection this year. Did I read something about that a while ago?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, do you have Google?
No.
Northern border
collection.
No, it is
no.
not.
See, this goes when you go to check out their site that it's called the Northern Border Collection. Like that's all the standard bottlings.
Focus.
It's Superior Canadian.
The artisanal cask strength. I don't know what makes it artisanal exactly, but
Cocktails.
It is tasty though.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be too many bad.
There's just some GW Lot 40 and what's it called? Pikes Creek.
Yeah.
I've not heard much about Pikes Creek.
What's that?
I've not heard much about Pike Creek.
That's what Brad had earlier. Actually, he had a 21-year-old.
Yeah, the 21.
Yeah. Okay.
So the standard.
They do a bunch of different finishes. They do weird things.
They have the standard release, I believe, is a 10-year rum cask.
Yeah. So 10-year-old finished in rum. So finished in rum barrels. Whiskey 10 Astiège fini à fût du rhum. My French is shit outs.
Sounds
That's okay.
Right.
That's okay. Yeah. Your Australian is spot on, mate.
Fuck out it is, cunt.
That call center training must be really good for the.
I am one of the call center trainers, so
there you go. That explains it. That explains.
Yeah, I can do most of the regionals as well, so I know the difference between a budgie smuggler, some togs, speedos, bathers. I know all of the nuances.
Great.
Right? The scallop potato cake, thing that there's some firm divides there as well.
Speedos,
yeah, mate. Good old budgie smugglers.
Budgie smugglers.
Hey.
Holy fuck!
I don't think Ed is
fantastic.
streaming, but we've been going for an hour. What are we doing? Is Ed streaming? Is a good question. I don't think
I can continue for.
He's not.
Okay. In theory, another 2 hours on the cycle on that washing machine, but I can probably
we could just throw that. There you go. There's the.
I'm good for another half hour. I didn't watch your stream yesterday, Brad, which I was very disappointed about.
How dare you? I thought we were friends,
dude. I was doing fire evacuation training, and then it ended up being oh shit, we fucked up sort of a situation with allocating roles to people and everything like that. So instead of me sitting at the back of the class sneakily watching the thing like I had originally freaking planned, I actually had to contribute to the conversation.
It's a real shame. We talked about vaginas for about 45 minutes. It was great.
Sweet. Was that before or after Caroline rocked in?
Oh, good. She was included.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it. She seems like she has a fantastic Like, just does not give a shit. We'll talk about anything as long as it's a proper open discourse.
Absolutely. It was a good time.
And you still haven't invited Kellen onto here to the best of my
I have invited him. He hasn't been able to come yet due to baby-related reasons, basically.
So Dan,
Yes.
what we'll do is next week, make yourself available for whatever your yesterday equivalent is. So in 6 days, make yourself available, and we'll just hijack the stream midway point because I have that power. Until I say that I have that power, Brad realizes my plan and takes my power away from me.
It's
But
fine.
until
that would
point,
actually be hilarious. I'm not. But
I missed the
wait
first
a week.
portion of this. I
You
was
might want to
not
wait a
paying
week because I
attention.
don't know if we're streaming next week because Kellen's going to be out of town. But
Oh, really?
We might still, and if you want to crash the stream, that would be hilarious.
we'll just crash the talking about stuff stream.
I enjoyed listening to that. I use it as like a podcast.
So, oh no, you don't. The only downside to it is because of the massive viewership of that stream. If I'm not in it live to listen to it, I basically have to wait 2 days before I can stream it. Otherwise, it'll go for like a minute and a half, and then it'll load for 3 minutes, and then it'll go for a minute and a half, and then it'll be loaded because the YouTube, hasn't populated all the servers appropriately or whatever. I don't. But it just
because it gets so
with that.
few viewers, is what he's saying.
No, it's the
YouTube doesn't
giant
give a
amount of
shit.
viewership. Yeah.
It gets at least like a third of the viewers that we get on this stream. So let's put it that.
So 2.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm one of them most of the time.
Sometimes it's 3. I think
That
we've
has
gone
just
up. I think we hit double digits a couple of times. But,
Yes, you did. You got up to 13 a couple of weeks ago. That was pretty impressive.
super popular is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, you're massively popular. I don't know what you're going on about. What am I doing? What am I doing? I was doing something, Bradley.
I don't know. Were you pouring a whiskey? Because that's what you should be doing.
No, my glass is in the water. No,
That's a real shame. Just drink it right from the bottle then.
That is a high temperature. Hello, little dog.
It's a dangerous situation in
I
any.
guess if we're
in
still
any
going,
capacity.
I better pour myself another whiskey. So I'm pouring some Talisker now. Out of the
my
Canadian
goodness.
stuff.
All right, I better go see what I can find. I'll be back.
I got some Talisker Portery sitting here, so might as well.
Oh, actually, I can bring you with me because it's
All right. Hello, dog. You go back to sleep, buddy. You're a good boy. Oh, Dan's.
Oh, there you go. He's getting another whiskey.
Oh, good. My backup glass.
Nice.
I mean, because I had a couple of spare Glencairns and I took them up to Christine's, so hence why I only had the Glencairn that was on my desk, which I then put in the dishwasher for lulz. I mean, for incredibly well thought out and hard planned content brought to you exclusively by Cask Strength.
I have not, Graham, had the 18 yet. I want some, though, but haven't had a chance.
Fuck, this smells good. So this is one.
Yes, that's absolutely an elite chat. Only the most elite people in the chat currently.
Oh, that's always the way it is.
It's true.
That is always the way it is. Oh, and I need
It's about the quality of the chat, not the quantity of the chatters, right? That's what's important.
Irish hybrid Bruichladdich. I haven't had Waterford yet, Donald, but I want to. Obviously, I want to try a whiskey. Can you believe it?
Shock. You want to try a whiskey you haven't tried yet? That seems way out of character, Dan. I don't know.
So you haven't had Talisker 18, Brad?
I don't think so.
It's crazy. It's not that crazy, but it's like it's just funny because you've had like gnarly, super aged, like crazy Taliskers. But
Dan, you live under the same terrible restrictions that I do here in Ontario.
True.
If I had ever seen a Talisker 18, I would have gotten it.
That's true.
That's not 100% true, Brad. How many whiskeys do you currently have, not in your possession, however, in your ownership, that you would not be able to get under your whole totality?
Okay,
True,
but
it's like not a thing that happens a lot. It's like...
How often does an Irish person purchase a whiskey for you?
It's happened a handful of times, okay?
That was also like a lottery win too. So there's a lot of circumstances
and Brad has big hands
that I may eventually have to share if anyone decides to give me money. But so far, no one has because the whiskey hasn't shown up. So why would they? So I may have to split it eventually. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I'll share it with some people. But I might have to actually split it.
Oh, the Void's dropped out. Hard dropped out. Did he say goodbye or not?
Nah, he just left. His connection to the Void may have been severed due to puns.
Didn't know that.
Or due to me being a dickhead about American football.
Maybe he hates you now and he just gave up.
Did I miss?
Possible. That was reason we reached reason number.
There was a lot of drama, Jeremy. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep doing this stream.
All I know from American football is they wear effectively bubble wrap because they're precious. A 4-hour game only contains 25 minutes of actual physical activity, and the rest of it is yelling and girls waving pom-poms.
Well, like now you say, good thing you didn't say that when fucking Void was here, because
we will send up the recording. It's fine.
Am I very far off?
No. Except it was 11 minutes.
Oh, so I wasn't that inaccurate.
But that was also per 3 hours, and you went for 4 hours, so I don't know how that
works out fine. Yeah.
So Donald, can you tell me anything? Tell me anything about this little character?
Oh, I can. It's a single cask strength Irish. Oh no, sorry, single cask Irish. No alcohol percentage was given, and it's in a tiny, tiny bottle.
It's whiskey.
Okay.
It's whiskey.
I trust you. Problem is, I need to go rinse my glass because I don't have a fancy see-through dishwasher.
All right, well, see you in 2 or 3 hours after you rinse that glass out.
Yeah.
How long it takes.
Just post the glass to me, Dan. I'll wash it, and then I'll send it back to you.
That would be very nice, Donald. Mine got extremely interrupted. It got very, very interrupted.
To be fair, you had been using illegal whiskey mules to haul your whiskey all over the country.
Legal whiskey mules.
Look, just because they didn't insert it into themselves doesn't change the legality.
They were within country in states where it was legal. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
You have a good one, sir. Thanks for dropping in.
Cheers, Greg.
Yeah, cheers, Graham. Nice.
So far, all of the whiskey muling that I have asked of people has been legal. I think I can safely say that on the record.
Woo, this is
technically the Hibiki 17 that I got. I'm not entirely sure if it was sent legally, but it was ordered directly from a company in Germany.
Oh, that's right.
It wasn't.
That's their fault then.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know how they managed it, and I didn't ask any questions. But that's their problem at that point. But all of the people that have whiskey muled for me has only been within legal areas, which is why it's hard to get it to me because I have to like do that physically to keep it legal.
I do have a soft spot for Teeling, hey.
Teeling is good stuff.
It depends on the date format.
Dude, that was that's the 5th of October, 2011 to the 19th of July. Dude,
I mean, there aren't
only
19
one date
months,
format that
so I'm
works.
fairly certain it's
There is
going to
not
be
19 months in a year.
we can probably
It couldn't
assume-
be year, month, day.
No, it can't be year,
I don't
month,
think
day.
so. I think it's probably safe to say that it's day,
It is
month,
in the
year,
correct
as it should be.
internationally accepted date format.
I don't know. There was no percentage given, so we're lucky to even
It
have
literally
a,
does say no percentage
Yeah.
given on the
I mean, it's
label.
at least 40, right? We could
I
we could
wouldn't
assume-
have even done that.
It
I
also
would've gone,
says it says cast strength, and it's definitely more than 50.
Just we're changing from the wash
cyclist.
cycle.
Oh
We're
shit!
going to go into a rinse cycle soon.
Those of you that held on and are still with us, boy,
this
was
is why
it
we're
worth
still
it.
streaming. So
Boy,
that we can
was
see
it
this
worth
change.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh yes, now it's a whole new ball game, folks. This is like a whole nother.
That looks way different than it did before.
Yeah.
Very, very different cycle. Glad we waited for that.
It's been a roller coaster ride.
I think this is actually from my buddy James, and I
The one who's
don't
getting married this month, or like an actual.
can't remember if this was in an Alberta pick. My friend is a doctor, so he could bring bottles back and forth. Do they get special whiskey privileges, or
No, do they get special travel privileges?
I know. I was just come on now.
Is my prescription for a 15-year single malt.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is exclusive sherry butt for sure. But given that it's only
is there so much
it's only
it's a little bit arsey or not?
It's only 5 years old, but it's really, really good.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, cast strength Irish is a wonderful thing. This is definitely a little less refined and a little less layered than that marvelous 17-year Bushmills that Donald was having earlier for sure. But
I'm just going to
really,
say
really nice.
That lot 40 keeps, because I googled the whole Northern Border collection thing. That lot 40 keeps looking at me with a knowing tone, Bradley.
Which one? The peated one?
No, that's the
because I still need some of that.
Standard.
The lot 40 rye.
Yeah. It is good.
It's from what I remember. I haven't been super active reading tribe posts, but that's one that's available in the States, and one that it always seems to be a lot of the Americans' favorite readily available Canadian. Like they recommend it a lot, and for a standard release like that's always available, mass produced, it is a really, really tasty whiskey for sure. And I believe it's 100% actual rye. So
look, ever since Mr. Whittington sent me those ryes, and I have been nursing that Michter's because it is just resonates. And then I've got the Putnams as well. But frick, I love rye.
Yeah, me too.
Is
that the Michter's just the
rye.
standard Michter's straight rye? Oh, it's so good. So good.
But it's well, I've been drinking whiskey for 20 something odd years, on and off, and I'd never had a rye. So I don't know if it's a case of, hey, this is a whole new exciting world. and I should go on a magic carpet ride and try and find some Iranian princess to sing the song to, or do I? Is it just I really like rye and
Just those taste buds haven't been burnt out yet because you haven't.
Yeah. Donald, yeah. Well, if the date format is for some reason incorrect, then it would be 14 years. But if it's the standard date format, then it's only 5 years.
It has to be the correct date format because there are not 19 months in a year.
No, but the year would be the first number again, is what I said. So it would be 2019.
But then again, it wouldn't work because then the first date is 05. Oh yeah, but potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what it is at all, or that that's normal for people to do that,
right.
but it definitely would make sense if that's what they did. You did. There is.
I've seen a 5-year-old tealing. I'm admittedly not in a single cask. That Donald is right on that one, but I mean, if it tastes good at that point and it's ready, why wouldn't you release it at that point?
It tastes like, if I had to put a guess on it, I would put it at older than 5 for sure, because it is very punchy with the high ABV. Whatever it is, it's definitely over 50. But again, I've had lots of whiskeys that are 6, 5, even 4 years that I would have guessed at much older. So,
oh,
it's changing again.
oh my god!
So
my
excited.
god! Is this the steam?
No, not yet. No, we're an hour in, so there'll be a clean water rinse yet.
Jesus!
Oh,
So
mate, she does a thorough job.
Look at the shine on that glass. Honestly, every single point where there is any type of like curve or striation, anything whatsoever, it's fucking sparkling. That's fantastic.
Some good shit there.
It's that good Australian water too.
Riveting stream.
We're literally watching her drip dry now, folks.
I mean, admittedly, people did watch an hour of a Vito-like being sitting in a bath once. So, you know.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah. They've also watched an hour of nobody talking at all.
Yep.
Yes.
So, you know.
And it was one of our most popular streams.
Yep.
I've only ever dropped one
God.
whiskey glass. Ever.
I'm fortunate enough not to have, but that just means that I'm not doing whiskey as well as I should be.
Right.
Now, Brad on the other hand, has never broken a whiskey glass since he started using the metal ones.
Actually, I have not actually broken a Glencairn ever, but I have dropped this metal one like 3 times. So I'm glad that I usually use it, because there's that I would have to try to. I could, I imagine, but I would have to be putting effort into breaking
Bussy galore. Bussy galore.
So for those who don't know what Dan is looking at, I can't be bothered putting on the thing. From the country that bought you Bodie McBoatface, one of the local councils obviously ran a name our bus thing. So the vote that came in was Bussy Galore, a pun on the 007 film Pussy Galore.
Sure.
Yes. It's even better is it's a megabus. So it's definitely Bussy Galore.
And is it an EV?
Yes, it's
fantastic.
I think it's a hybrid or an EV.
Fantastic. Awesome. Mega Bussy galore, and it's got I guarantee you that Instagram has an insane amount of followers for Bussy galore.
What, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go follow. I haven't even been on Instagram in fucking weeks, but I'm gonna go follow Bussy galore.
I also think that it may even have radar cruise control. That is one wicked fucking bus.
Fun.
Nice. Jim, no, that just means that you're doing whiskey correctly. If you break Glencairns, that's it's bound to happen.
Look,
Oh, yeah.
it's a life thing, right? Like, if you've never had a carton of eggs with broken eggs, you're either lucky or whatever. But you are bound to have a carton of eggs one day with a broken egg in it. Be that through your own not checking it, be that through just mishandling it in the car, be that going through a roundabout at 80 kilometers an hour, whatever it is that causes the broken eggs, it is bound to happen.
It is.
Fun story. I once ran through a roundabout. No.
Just the once?
Oh no, I'm a shocker for not slowing down for corners. The whole
We
mobile
have-
cradle went yesterday when I went around the corner.
Roundabouts have only recently become popular in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, in the past decade, and in more rural areas even less. And dear God, it's really entertaining to watch people. They all stop. They all stop. So everyone comes up and stops, and there's no one on the roundabout, and people will come and still stop and then look, and then they're all waiting because this person's gonna pull it. It's so funny.
So
and then when you get in,
a roundabout at the end of my street, and because people just haven't been driving as much for some strange reason for the last 597 odd days.
For some reason.
They are starting to treat it almost like a four-way stop, which we don't really have in Australia anyway. But there's this massive amount of indecisiveness. So I just boot it every fucking time, eh?
Yeah,
but,
honestly.
Oh, it's yeah. I have no problem with roundabouts at all, and I have no problems, just going. There's enough of a gap, bang.
Yep.
And I'm talking about single lane roundabouts too, right? There's nothing intricate about this at all. It's just a single lane roundabout at two.
That way, there is a triple roundabout. It's 2 lanes in, and it confuses the fuck out of people because the left lane you can turn left or right, and the right lane you can turn right.
Sure.
And people just do not know how to cope because I will often sit in the left lane to turn right because road marking say I can, and people struggle because some people here think that it's acceptable to change lanes on the roundabout, and
that's just not great.
Yeah, it's
that's got to change again.
Oh my God!
But how clean is that, Dan?
The excitement.
I am going and here hand to heart and say that's one of the cleanest classes I've ever seen, especially given the apparatus and setup that is being used.
Right.
That is remarkable. I have to say that is remarkable.
Very clean.
Yeah, Donald, it's crazy. It is comedy gold. Eventually we'll get there, right? People will start to learn and understand, but
Incorrect.
for now it's just
they will never learn. If they didn't learn it within 6 months of getting their driver's license, they will not learn
it. And you know what it is?
Right.
It is people just intrinsically people sort of come up to the roundabout and they don't have the conviction to know what they are doing or the ability to actually work out what other people are doing. So they just err on the side of caution, and both things fuck shit up.
Yeah, there's a lack of confidence. That's the biggest problem is the lack of confidence.
So when I was doing rally, which admittedly is a few years ago and possibly a couple of brain injuries, I was a very good driver at hitting trees and rolling cars and shit. The old adage was indecisiveness kills, right? The moment you're indecisive is the moment you hesitate, and that's the moment you get into trouble. Freaking own it. If you fuck up, you've learned a lesson, but you're not having the 8 or 9 different what ifs shit, which then just ruins your confidence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. More is lost by indecision than the wrong decision.
And if anyone wants to see how much confidence I've got, I am free for sponsorship. If you do want to sponsor a rally season for me, I can't afford it. And look, I will be definitely middle of the pack. Not a great
Your
driver.
sponsorship will be seen by people who are watching the race. That's
Yep,
all you need to
I'm
say.
not a great driver, but
I was about 20% sure you were just going to give out your OnlyFans link there. So.
But with the right sponsor and the right team and funding,
mate.
he could be a great driver. So
No,
this could be you.
That's definitely how that works.
I'm honest enough, man. I am only ever going to be a freaking mediocre driver, competitive wise. I have moments of brilliance, but I'm not that consistent. But I'm not like bottom of the pack sort of shit. I'm just stable middle of the pack.
Nice.
What more can you ask for?
Which, you know what, for rally, that's pretty damn impressive because it means that I'm not fucking my car up so much that it's DNF, DNF, DNF.
Sure. Fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
Because who was it? Michelle Mouton, who the French rally driver, the female French rally driver, who could have gotten a championship, but she crashed out. So she would either be leading or crash.
Yeesh.
And that was against like the original Stig and all of those guys. Very, very.
Are you allowed? Are you allowed to? I guess it totally depends. I know there's different leagues, rules, levels across the fucking board, but are you allowed to have a second car for the same race, or is it just that simple part that if you try, like by the time you get another car, your time, it's just there's no feasible way that you could.
So for all the rallying that I've ever had any exposure to, it is always the car that you start the rally with is the car that you are with that rally for. Now, you've got your tech stops. Some of the really good teams, and I never played in those leagues, some of the really good teams could effectively rebuild a whole fucking car in about 45 minutes flat. But that's where the money is. Like the harder you can drive it, the more it's going to need repairing. The more you can repair it, the harder you can drive it, etc. And I was pretty much, if I blew a shock, I could change the shock. If I fucked a tire, I could change a tire. In the Honda, I was constantly having to change out my points, just because the way that motor was tuned and everything. It's that sort of stuff. But it just meant that I had a much more relaxed time because it was myself, co-driver, and sometimes George, the mechanic. So it wasn't a big team. So most of the shit I had to do myself because George wasn't always available. So yeah, couldn't really afford to bin it because I'd like to finish the race. So the stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just poured some Woodford Reserve Double Oak.
Ooh, nice.
Since we're still going, can't have an empty glass for the end of the stream.
I'm gonna have to respectfully bow out very soon. Almost bought a Lancia Delta.
Anyway.
That would have been a good deal up here,
dude. I think my gentleman area shifted slightly.
That's a great deal for up here, man.
I used to race in class. I think it was E because class D was the bigger stuff. 1.6 or under, basically stock with a roll cage. I raced a Honda Civic, more specifically 1986. I had 3 of them: Fridge White, Mission Brown, and Fridge White II. Which was the name of the rattle can paint I used to paint them with.
Fantastic.
But nothing too spectacular. I mean, my most expensive season, bar the money put into the actual car itself, was probably about $8,000. $2,000 on the card. Roll cage went into most of them. There was a period where I may or may not have been slightly cheaty. So my roll cage may or may not have been slightly more structural at the base and then slightly more fictitious at the top to save weight. But, just basic engineering shit. But yeah, look, it's a great hobby. It can be a very expensive hobby and it takes a lot of time. But yeah, no, look, I competed relatively well. Not Colin McRae level stuff, although I have been on many of the World Rally courses in Australia, at least. So I've done rally in various forms in every state in Australia. So yeah, And that
Which
was
is pretty
13,
awesome.
14 odd years ago too. But yeah. Good stuff. But yes,
On that note, I'm going to have to hit the road.
so Dan, I'll send you some photos of the glass when it's finished, mate.
Jesus. Yeah, honestly.
She's
I'm going to be...
right.
All right. I'm out of here.
See you later.
Evening.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
What are we doing, Brad?
I don't know. Are we going to stream until this glass is clean?
No, because it's got at least another hour.
Well, fuck that.
Yeah, no. And I unfortunately do have some stuff that I need to do later. So,
well, this has been good. See you later, everybody.
Do you want me to leave the stream going with just the?
No.
All right.
No one needs that.